Good morning, Scott.
Morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks. And thanks for joining us. Football season is starting. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I'm super excited. It's been interesting timing coming in here in the summer and not having a lot of guys on campus and everything else. So just being able to actually in person with everybody the last couple of weeks and start to build relationships with our guys, and now obviously getting back to what we all love to do together, it's super exciting.
I've seen in the mornings that I walk by some folks gathering. So is everyone in? Is it what point of the season are we at right now? Is this training? Is this pre-training?
No, so training camp started 2 weeks ago,
okay.
August 8th. So went through that for a week, ended it with an exhibition game against Acadia last weekend.
Okay.
And then this has kind of been like our first week or prep week for our first regular season game against Bishops tomorrow.
Okay, and how's that expected to go?
It's good, exciting. I mean, it's I think everybody's just excited to get on the field together. There's a lot of excitement and enthusiasm around the program. There's been a lot of culture change, a lot of work done the last couple of weeks. But I mean, this is what guys love to do. They love to go out there and compete. We're playing the conference champions from last year. So I think everybody's just super excited to finally get on the field together and start moving this program in the direction we all want it to go.
That's great. The dedicated listener is going to want to know about these big changes you've been talking about. You want to give us a rundown of how this season might be different than last?
Yeah, I mean, I think long term, the biggest thing we've tried to do here is come in and get the culture back where we all want it. I think the big emphasis for us is really building like the work ethic that we need to be successful and win championships here, and trying to improve the connections, across the team, player to player, player to coach, coach to player, support staff, everything else. I think any successful team that I've been a part of, whether it was championships here, championship at McMaster, there was a really strong work ethic, accountability, discipline, attention to detail that ran right through the team. Yeah. And so that's really been the big emphasis for us this first year coming back in here, is we just need to get the culture back where it needs to be and get that to a championship level.
Yeah, that's exciting. Knowing that you were coming in, we reached out to see if there were any questions that folks would like to ask at this unique opportunity to have you on the hot mic, and we got a couple in. Thank you, dear listener, for sending these in. Some folks were wondering about the roster construction.
Yeah, so it's been interesting. It's definitely been a work in progress. We kind of had what we had when we came in here. I took the job like the middle of May, so 99.9% of recruiting is kind of done at that point. Right. So we did have a class of about 20 come in, just under 20 from this last year. The roster currently sits at about 80, so we would like to be closer to like 95 to 100 in a given year. So there's definitely been some adaptations we have to make to the practice schedule and how we work throughout the week here. I think there's a good mix of young and old on the roster. So there's some vets who have come back for the fifth year and want to actively contribute to moving this thing in a better direction here. There's some guys who have been like fixtures in the program here, like Nolan Cheeseman, Ethan Doherty, Curtis Squires, who went to East West Bowl and represented the program there last year, and still have some eligibility left. And then there's some exciting young guys who are going to be stepping into bigger roles than they've had in the past.
And there's been some talk about Kelly Jeffrey.
Yeah, so Kelly was he was our head coach in 2013, 2014 when we won back championships. So I was the defense coordinator under him, and I think he was here 2008 through 2015, and had told everybody, but best head coach that I've ever worked for. Nice. Learned a ton from him. Certainly the biggest like football influence on my life. Yeah. And so it's been super exciting just to like be able to bring him back into the program. And I've really personally just enjoyed like watching the impact that he's had on our players. Like you ask any offensive player about, how they're enjoying things in terms of how they're being taught and coached throughout the week. And like before they can even get words out, they just have a huge grin on their face, which like that was my experience when I played for him. I loved showing up and working with him every single day. He made it super fun. I felt like he made us better as players. And now to watch him do that again for a new generation of players here and really impact the culture, it's been incredible. And I think our players have had a great experience, and I've just personally enjoyed watching it. And I'm really happy that they get to have that experience working with him.
That's amazing. That sounds great. Kind of related to that, but any returning students of note someone was asking about?
Yeah, I mean, there's a number of guys who I think are poised to have a pretty good season here. So, I mean, Nolan Cheeseman, I think, he had a great East-West Bowl this year. I think he was arguably the best receiver on the East team there. We didn't have him last week for our exhibition game, but I think he's an explosive player who can create big plays with the ball in his hands. And, I mean, he's got a lot of passes already in his career. I think one thing Kelly has done a good job of throughout his career is really featuring, like, top guys like that, and so I think he's going to have an opportunity to see the football a lot and have a really big season. I think we got a couple good young tailbacks. So Sam Bawa, Onis Dash both had like really good training camps. I think there's a couple guys that we trust to carry the football there and can play at a high level. So that was really exciting to see. Our offensive line, I was pleased with in camp, even in our exhibition game last week against Acadia. Without really doing a ton to game plan, we were able to run the ball pretty consistently. We got to create more explosive plays going forward, but I thought we ran the ball really consistently, so that was really good to see. Defensively, I think it starts with Owen O'Neill. He's a great player, also East-West Bowl guy. Hopefully we'll have an opportunity in the CFL after this season, but I think, he's a guy that we want to feature defensively. And he's somebody who's like very versatile, can do a lot of different things for us. He can cover, he can blitz, he can support the run game and tackle well. Ethan Doherty's a good player, had a really good East-West Bowl. Also, Kirk Jean-Baptiste, I think, he gives us a lot of flexibility what we can do coverage-wise because he can lock up other teams' best receivers one-on-one on the backside. So, and I think he can run with anybody. So he's exciting to have. Ben Mickles, really solid at linebacker. And then we've got some vets in the defensive line like Curtis Squires, Jake Stewart, who we're excited about. So, there's a lot of guys I'm excited to get on the field with this year and see what they do.
That's amazing. You sound so excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
That's really great. Kind of related to that, but games that you're looking forward to. That was another question we had coming in. You got any big ones?
Yeah, I think every game you look forward to, like try to take it 1 week at a time. Like the big thing we try to emphasize to the guys is we want to be the most improved team in the league this season. And so there's kind of, rather than looking too far ahead, it's kind of just what do we need to do today to improve as much as we possibly can. I think if we have that focus every single day, we'll end up in a really good spot. Every game is exciting. I do think homecoming this year has an opportunity to be pretty special. Okay. So homecoming itself is always a big one, but especially this year, we have a few different things going on. The big one would be we're retiring Gary Ross's jersey number this year, so he's going to be third player in Mount Allison football history to have his number retired. So we'll have like a ceremony at halftime there and then a dinner event after the game as well. We've got a lot of former Mounties coming back. So Eric Lapointe and Grant Keeney are both coming back for that event. They're the other two who have their jersey retired. And I think we're going to have a lot of Mountie greats from various eras coming back around the program. So I think that weekend has a chance to be really, really special.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds great. I think they were looking for something further along, but if homecoming's going to be it, then we'll stick with homecoming. That'll be the good one. Was there anything else you wanted to get up there mentioned before we end up this segment?
No, I think anybody listening to this, anybody in the Mount Allison community, whether you're on campus here as a student, whether you're an alumni following along with the team, we want to get as many Mounties back around and involved with this program as we possibly can. So especially once the students come back to campus here, would love to have everybody come out, create an incredible home environment for us here. Again, I go back to 2014, like when we're hosting Laval in the UTEC Bowl and, our 2,400 student campus, we had like 3,700 people attending that game, which is pretty special atmosphere you can't find anywhere else. Yeah. I want and would encourage all students to come out. We want to make game day special here. I think you're going to see a really hardworking, connected team that people can be really proud of and will represent this entire school and alumni base and community of Sackville. And we want as many people coming out to watch these guys play and see the new culture that we're building here as possible.
Yeah, that was the last question we had was what can fans do to help out, and it does make a huge difference if you show up. So the best thing you can do is come out and show some support. And thanks, Scott, for coming out.
No, I appreciate it.
really
Looking forward
appreciate
to chatting with you guys every week.
Okay, well, next Friday we'll be in. Do we know if it will be at the 11 o'clock or the 9:30? We can let the listener know as we go and see how we figured out, because this is a new thing, so we're just kind of settling into a routine. And we're also going to be posting this as a podcast so people can listen to it on their own time whenever it works for them. Thanks, Scott. Take care.
Yeah, thank you.